Hey guys, so I've decided to make a video about manipulation. And the reason why I want to talk about manipulation is because it's something that we are waking up from in our society today. And there are different forms of manipulation that we have been exposed to, both in relationships that we have like on a private level, but also in society. And different forms of manipulation is sort of like there are different forms of manipulation, but what we all have, most of us have been exposed to is a sort of like a coercion into doing what other people want us to do on the expense of ourselves, right? That's how we have been self-sacrificing and self-abandoning for the sake of something else. And this is something that most of us, and many people, even though they might not be going through like a strong personal awakening, they might wake up to the sort of manipulation that's going on in the world. And we see this in the financial system, and we see this in the healthcare system. We see this in the political system, in the media, just to mention, and the education system, in the whole economy, and the structure of society altogether. And many of us, maybe even most of us, for all I know, we grow up and we're children and we ask all these questions like, what's the point of this? Why are we doing this? Why have we structured society that way? Why are we forced to go to school and sit there? Like where I'm from, we start at school when we're 6, and we are expected to sit at this desk and listen like passively to a teacher for hours every day, except for the weekends, of course. And that goes against our nature. And the school system is also encouraging us to give up critical thinking and creativity, and also like individual expression, and it encourages us to let go of our natural talents and conform to the structure that someone has created for us, right? And to make us obedient to we are made obedient through the school system, so we can enter work life and become obedient in the work life, right? And if you look at the work life, we are always encouraged to get a job and get an education, and all of that makes us slaves to the system, because you will, as an employee, you will most likely never get full freedom over your own time, your own money, or your own flexibility. Even though this is changing with the internet, there's still a strong manipulation that goes on that is encouraging us to give up our power to bigger systems and structures. It encourages us to adjust and let go of our true nature, which I believe is empowered, free, and creative, and to obey to someone else's rules. And we see this in the healthcare system, how maybe I shouldn't talk too much about that on YouTube, but someone is making a lot of money by keeping people sick, right? It's the wrong incentives here, and many people are discovering this now, especially with the pandemic and stuff like that. And we can also see that in the financial system, how we made a system that makes that so few people are benefiting from. Like, there's something that goes on that is not right? Who made these rules, right? Because nothing, as we wake up, we see that nothing is a certain way. It's only how we decide to make it, right? So someone made the rules at some point that probably benefited from it, and then the people went along and adjusted to the strongest voice, because no one has inherently more power than someone else. It's only that some people believe in their powers, and they also take power over others, which is something I believe that we are moving out of in these times of the shift that we're going through. That more and more people are waking up to sovereignty, to personal power, and realizing that we are all one big creative force that is expressing itself, and it's experiencing a sense of separateness. It has been experiencing a strong sense of separation from itself, or we are experiencing separation from each other, which makes us objectifying each other. Humans are making objects out of each other to serve personal needs. That's how the ego works, and it's fundamental narcissism in some way. And as we wake up, we start to see that if I exploit you, I'm actually exploiting me because we are one. You are me and I am you, right? This is a recognition of oneness. And we can imagine it, but there's a different thing when we feel it. We recognize it. We start to see everything is I, right? And that's non-duality or oneness consciousness, where it makes no sense to exploit or use or manipulate. It doesn't make any sense anymore because you are exploiting yourself, right? So manipulation, we can see that in a way, strong actors in this society, they exploit others by making them do what they want. So it's like making other people serve their needs on expense of themselves. That is my definition right now of manipulation, and or make you do things that you otherwise wouldn't have done if you were acting in accordance with your true nature, right? So this is why so many of us that are waking up, we want to change careers, for example, right? We don't want to fit into this narrative and never be able to express ourselves the way we want to, right? Some people, they took an education, they started a career to fit in, and then they realized that, oh, what am I doing? Like, what game am I playing? Whose game am I playing now? Is this beneficial for me? Is this beneficial for humanity? Or is it beneficial for a small group of people, right? So these are the sort of questions we tend to start asking as we wake up. And manipulation is also something that our politician and the media is doing a lot, where they present a certain message in a certain way, and they manipulate facts, and they manipulate their own actions by gaslighting, for example, or blame shifting and not telling the whole truth. It's a lie, and it's a setup, right? To keep you question yourself and to keep you disempowered, right? So the awakening is about becoming empowered and realizing our true nature. And there's a lot of things I can say on manipulation, and it's something I've been reading a lot about personally due to personal encounters I've had previously in my life with people that tried to make me give up my own personal power as I started to awaken, so they could get a control over me, right? And this is something that you will notice when you start to notice energy. Sorry. When you start to become aware of energetics, how energetic exchanges are, you will see what kind of people want to want you to be empowered, and what kind of people want to take your power away so you serve them on expense of yourself. And that made me do a great detox of some relationships that I had. And of course, as you change and get out of that sort of disempowered state, new people will come into your life, new situations, new careers, new opportunities will present themselves to you when you start to see through the manipulation and the sort of distortions that happens in between people and in between humanity, in a sense, or within humanity. Yeah. So this is what I wanted to share today. Please leave a comment below if you have been more and more aware of manipulation on a personal level and on a collective level. And also remember to subscribe and like this video if this resonates. And until next time, much love and namaste.